What is going on, people? Welcome to the Offside Chat podcast. It's your boy Naber. I'm joined in the studio by Naeem and Edward. How we are, boys, today? What's going on? How are we, man?
I'm all good, brother.
All is blessed, you know.
Yeah,
Wearing
I'm
black
sh-
today, so.
yeah. No, it suits you. It's a good color. Black is the new black. That's what they say, man. And Naeem is wearing. Is it Chelsea blue you're wearing today, or
Yes.
Navy blue, yeah.
Yeah, I see you've got the Goldberg beard. I let you get away with that now. What's going on, man? What's happening?
Goldberg.
Remember the red? Is it Goldberg?
You don't know who Goldberg is, do you?
Yeah,
Huh?
of course I know.
Oh, I was
Wrestling.
looking
Yeah,
back.
WCW. Yeah.
Yeah. Where's the Goldberg beard?
You got the in it. He's just to say it's the You got the
The
Goldberg
goatee
beard.
and then
No, yeah, that's it. I think after certain performances yesterday, there was spearing needed to be done in it. Pause.
Yeah.
1000%.
So yeah,
Right,
I do
listen.
feel getting Goldberg mood at the moment. Within reason, of course.
No, I hear it, but listen, look, we got to start in the right place because we always get messages. Oh, guys, I want you to talk about this. I want you to talk about that. So listen, we're gonna get into it and deal with the elephant in the room. Man City blow title race wide open. There's no two ways about that. Manchester City victorious at the Etihad, winning 2-1. I think it's gonna get nasty on this podcast in terms of agendas and where we're going. And listen, we'll start off with Naeem. Manchester City, listen, most importantly, they got the win for their fans and their supporters. Obviously, a blow for Arsenal in the title race. It's kind of lost control of it somewhat. I kind of feel it's still neck and neck, but still. What were your thoughts on the game, Naeem?
I think City are favourites now. I think that's easy to say. I think Arsenal. To be fair, this is one of Arsenal's better performances over the past month, which is a mad thing to start with. But I'll be honest with you, I wasn't too surprised. I thought there was some very poor performances in there, but I think if you look at it overall, this wasn't the game that is going to lose Arsenal the title. I hope I'm wrong. It's games Bournemouth, Wolves, Forest recently. Points dropped. That's what's cost Arsenal the title. It's not losing to City as they did. I thought Arsenal set up quite aggressively. Bit of luck to get Ryan Cherki's goal was beautiful. I thought a bit of better defending from Eze in the left channel should be better, but also defensively he went past a lot of players relatively easily. So I give credit to that goal. I thought getting the goal back, as fortuitous as it was, fair play to Kai Havertz going down, but he had chances to get Arsenal a point. When we discussed it briefly, I think that chance right at the end with Trossard, also the one that Odegaard, maybe the pass wasn't the greatest. Previous to that, there was chances there for Arsenal to get a point even after Haaland scored. I thought I was very disappointed with quite a few players. I thought Madueke went missing. Disappointed a bit with Rice as well. Can we talk about players being flogged and everything as well? But a lot of the City players have played very similar number of games. Poor defending for the second. I thought you can't get cut through that easily from the goalkeeper throw in. But if I take a step back, I think this 2 defeats to City within a month, basically. Psychologically, I think it's going to be very difficult for Arsenal to bounce back from here. Same points if they win the game in hand. However, you realistically think the goal difference will be closed there, and then it's all about momentum. And Arsenal seem to be one of those teams that will, they say close the noise. I don't think they do. I think they'll hear it from all sides, and we know how biased the media is in that aspect. So I think Arteta's in a bit of trouble, quite a bit of trouble here, and I think somebody might put it in a bit in a better context in that aspect. But yeah, I think this is out of all of the league title charges, I think this could be potentially the worst crash and burn out of all of them. And it's concerning because as much as I think it's Newcastle next, do you see Arsenal beating them at the moment? The way they're playing, the amount of chances being created, the fitness of the squad. We talk about the depth, but the depth's only good if they're players that come in, replace them like for like, and we're not seeing that at the moment. So yeah, I think it's now City's to lose, to be honest. I can't see Arsenal winning all the games, unfortunately.
Yeah. I think that's a fair assessment. I actually think Arsenal, yeah, it was a decent performance from Arsenal. Overall, I just believe obviously there's fine margins, and there's always fine margins in these games. I remember when Liverpool went there with needed to win, and I think it was a Leroy Sané shot off the post, and then that was enough to win. Obviously, it was only by one goal in it. I think it was a much better performance overall from the team, much more pressing aggressively. Obviously, he had Eze and Odegaard on the pitch. I thought defensively, Eze wasn't great for the first goal. I thought we should have cleared the lines. I know he ran through, but it wasn't, it wasn't some sort of Hazard-esque run. I thought it should have been stopped. However, the goal has gone in. But look, Kai Havertz is probably one of the best performances from him in the 9, and the worst in one game. But that sums up his time at Arsenal. I thought, he won every header. I thought he was pressing non-stop. He was causing lots of problems. So even to press the goalkeeper to get the goal, he lost confidence as well. So this is where it was quite vital to go in at 1-1 at halftime. I thought fair enough. Obviously, Madueke was a shocking performance. I think we're looking at the numbers now, and I think they've played the same amount of games and same amount of goals. So you do question why. There will be question marks on why, the outlay of 52M was there when you had Wanyeri. So there's going to be all of these question marks. And I think with me, it will come in May. But he was really, really poor. And I'm starting to get a bit concerned about the mentality with him, because this is like a huge game. You left Chelsea, to come to Arsenal. This is like one of a title game here. And this didn't look like he even got into the game. It's not even like he was getting closed down. He was very relaxed, very, very relaxed. And he got hooked at halftime. When you get hooked at halftime in the big game by Arteta, it's not good enough. Martinelli came on second half. We had chances to win that game. I think, obviously, you had the Eze chance, a couple of centimetres either side, that goes in. I thought Odegaard could have taken the ball on himself. He didn't. He decided to pass to Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz has got to bury that chance. You're at the Etihad. You've got to bury that chance. It goes straight at the goalkeeper. I don't think Haaland's goal should have stood. However, I think, there was a lot of pulling on Gabriel. So I thought they should have blown for a foul, but they didn't. But to be fair, it equaled itself out because Gabriel should have been sent off. Mm-hmm. So again, I can't really. If you look back at the goal, you could see him just literally just holding on to Gabriel. So I thought that should have been, we should have been blown there. But then it equaled itself out because Gabriel had a moment of madness that I've got to say one thing, that you can tell that Pep Guardiola and Mikel Arteta are friends and work colleagues, because those two are absolutely hilarious. When Gabriel decided to headbutt Haaland, I don't think if you saw Arteta. So Arteta looked, and then I don't think he could believe what was going on. And it was Pep Guardiola, that sort of thing, the headbutt thing. I thought these two are maniacs on the touchline. But I looked at that again. You could see Odegaard screaming at Martinelli. And that's what I'm trying to say. Moments in the game. Do Arsenal have those moments? Do they have the players that take those chances? And you look at that, Martinelli is usually not bad defensively. He loses Nick O'Reilly, which he was fantastic yesterday, by the way. I think probably him and Bernardo were their best players, but I think he was up there because he really stifled that left side. Just to leave your man like that. And then Zubimendi lose his man again. And then, as I said, I think the goal should have been chalked off. But look, they got the goal 2-1. Heads didn't drop, which I was impressed with. It looked like we kept going. Was shocked that Eze got removed for Trossard. But then it was a great cross from Trossard. And that you see that chance there, 6 foot something, a ball in, you've won every header, Kai. You've if Kai scores that, yeah, that would have been his standout game at Arsenal, you know. You would have looked at that and thought, if you dislike Kai Havertz, yeah, you're gonna have to keep quiet that day because you would have thought, do you know what? Fair play, lad. And I think me and Ed briefly spoke, but that sums up him at Arsenal to a T. That you can put on performances like that. But that's a gilt-edged chance. When you watched, I actually thought it was in. It came in, I thought, wow. 2 things, you got to ask, why were more of those balls not played in? And 2, how do you miss that, man? And I did say to Ed a few years ago that I do believe that this signing of Kai Havertz could be the end of Arteta. It could be the be-all, the end-all of him. It's that one. It really divided opinion. And he should have scored that. That was a huge chance. You go in 2-2, you know. So it's a strange one. To lose, it's not over yet. You still have to battle it out. Looking at the game, the thing is, I disagree slightly, Naim, that I can see that why people would think that Arsenal won't win those last 5 games. I mean, that makes sense. We've seen it this year, you know, the amount of points that have been dropped. However, I saw that performance and I thought, if you perform like that for the next 5 games against lesser teams, you should be winning this. I think he has to find a way to have Eze and Odegaard on the pitch. Zubimendi, I say this week in, week out. He's our player. We have to support him. But this is another game, a big game again, where you've just gone missing. Again, it's like I just don't quite get it. Obviously, the
should have Arteta taken him out of the team. Sorry to interrupt you there, because you know we talk about the depth squad. Norgard's sitting there; he's not playing any game. He should be. Instead of actually being pulled out a long time ago.
I mean, he had his performance in Europe. That's a great point, Naim, because I think we've got the squad.
Allegedly, we have the squad. Allegedly, right?
No. I think we've got the squad that you can have Champions League players and then players that you would use more for the Premier League. And I think in the Premier League, he's struggling. So you've got other midfield players. And I think I'm getting to the point now where with Zubimendi, I will support my Arsenal players. But I think we might need to end this Rice as that double pivot. Or I think Rice has to go back to the 6 because this 6 is not working. And this double pivot, for me, it's not working. I know you said Rice had an iffy game, but I just think Zubimendi goes missing, man, in the big games. He doesn't want the ball. And when he's got the ball, you know, as I said, you know, he's not press resistant, what I'm seeing from him because of his form. He goes missing in big games. There's a mistake in him. He's weak. He's not strong defensively. So I just feel Rice is just doing too much. And I think now it's getting to the stage now, whether Arteta is here or not here. And I can probably see if there is another manager, I think they just put him back to the 6, like for England. I think they just say, look, you know what, Rice, you've got the physicality. You're doing a lot of running. Great engine. Thank you so much for that. You will just go to the 6 and know your position as well, because you are great defensively. You're a good size lad. You can get around the pitch. We just need to get more technicians in there to do their bit. And at least we know, because I don't know how you two feel. Obviously, Ed was saying, I just don't feel safe in front of the back. Since Partey is gone, I don't feel safe in terms of the defensive midfield element of the team. I don't feel the safety. People are saying, Nuba, you're just so old-fashioned. You just like your Casados and your Makaleles and your Gilbert. Yes, I do. I do like a Bush. I like someone that's going to be there. And if they haven't got the physicality, they've got the technical ability to be press resistant and be able to break the lines. Busquets was a slim dude, man. Like, you don't fit, but the football brain was there. He knew how to play nasty. He knew how to play dirty. He knew how to draw fouls in. And I don't feel safe within that back. And I think it has to be reviewed next season. But make no mistake, I think it's a damaging defeat. I think people who are not Arteta in, yeah, they've probably got a lot to say. The next guy that's going to come in, but I don't think the title's over yet. I really genuinely don't think it's over yet. I think City can drop points, but so can Arsenal. And we're going from week to week in this title race. There's like 5-6 games left, and it's seriously squeezy bum time, and it's blink first. So every single game is a must win for both teams. Because if City, what happens if City drop points, which they won't, I don't believe, against Palace, or Burnley is in it first. But just say they do, or they drop points Palace, or they drop points at Everton, and then it can swing both ways. So I think Arsenal just have to win every single game. If they play like that, I believe that they will. But it's definitely a damaging defeat. Yeah. Edwards.
What? No speech? No Bear Luther King? No. I have a dream. You're not going to rouse up the troops. You're not going to.
No, I don't have to. I don't think I have to rouse the troops. I think currently Arsenal Football Club sit top of the Premier League. Man City have a game in hand, and we have a semi-final in the Champions League currently. So until that's not the case, and we're out of the Champions League and we're in second place, is when I can fully crash out. But right now, I've got to support the team. Are you not going to support the team against Newcastle?
No, I didn't ask for a crash out. I asked for a rousing speech. The similar speech.
I don't think we have to have one. I don't think
the speech after the Carabao Cup Final loss.
Yeah.
Hold your nerve, brothers, and keep your head up, G, and all that stuff. You're not going to do it again, no?
No, I don't think. I think we have to hold our nerve, of course. And these title races, you're gonna have to hold your nerve. The stranger things have happened, man.
I know.
Stranger things have happened, man.
I know. Stranger things happen, and it always seems to happen to Arsenal. But it is what it is, man. Like, where do I begin? Everyone said, yeah, we played all right, but almost doesn't count, man. That Brandy tune, in it, almost doesn't count, and that seems to be the theme with Arsenal under Arteta. You can be good up until April, and then for some reason, you lose your nerve, you lose your bottle, the pressure gets to you. And we can forgive 1 year, you can forgive 2, but it's bordering on, a similar trajectory with Wenger, where with Wenger it was February. By February, March, you have a rotten 2 weeks and you're out of every cup competition, and it's just about salvaging the top 4. And with Arteta, it's from August to end of March, you're really, really good. Or March, you're really, really good. And if for some reason you start dropping points willy-nilly to teams you shouldn't have any reason to drop points to, home or away, it will be a damaging defeat, a damaging draw. And then you go to a big team and then they'll stick it on you. And then May, you come around in May and you tell everyone, yeah, be proud, be ready, because we're going to go again. And then we're going to go again, and then the same thing might happen. With the game, yeah, it just showed the deficiencies that Arsenal have mentally, player-wise, and it just showed that despite City being off colour and maybe not having their best season from start to finish, there's fighting an old dog left. Like they know how to win important games. They know how to win games when it counts. The Carabao Cup Final was that. They won when it counted. This game was a must-win. They won when it counted. And yeah, everyone can say, we looked more assured up front with Havertz. He pressed from the front. He led the charge. He won every duel. But when it counted, what did he do? When chance after chance fell to him, what did he do? Yes, he scored the goal. It was a scruffy goal. It's a goal nonetheless, right? He won that out of his, due diligence, his hustle and his fights. But he got played in before his goal. It was offside. What did he do? He fluffed his touch, and the ball got nicked. He could have made it 2-2 right at the end. What does he do? I would say it's uncharacteristic.
And that Odegaard pass, you missed that.
Odegaard pass, and he's stretching at it, and he just hits it on the target instead of lashing it into the back of the net. I would say this is uncharacteristic, but bruv, this has been a symptomatic thing with Havertz, probably from Chelsea days. That's not even, none of us are Chelsea fans, so we didn't see him like that. But I watched him enough to know that I didn't want him at Arsenal. And people think I hate Havertz and I hate Arteta, and yeah, they're right, I do. But they're Arsenal, men, so I have to somewhat stick beside them. But yeah, Havertz should never have been bought. I know hindsight's 2020 and recency bias, but I've never seen a Havertz performance, and I thought he's the best player out of the 20 outfield. I've never rated him. And the way he's spoken about for doing the bare minimum, it just makes me sick. It makes my blood boil. Honestly, it's not even an agenda. This guy cost us £65 million. Yeah, so he's one of our most expensive signings, and then we stuck him on 275 a week. So all his deficiencies, he's paid like a specialist, and he's not a specialist. He's not a specialist 9. He's not a specialist 8. He's not, the second coming of Bergkamp or RVP. He is a Swiss Army knife that's getting paid like a top 5 player in the world. And time and again, he has cost us in the biggest moments. He got us dumped out of the FA Cup in 2024. He got us dumped out, 2025, sorry. He got us dumped out of the Carabao Cup in 2025. He had the chance to make it 1-0 in the Carabao Cup Final this year. Couldn't do it. Villa, away a couple years ago in a run-in. He got put into midfield and he stank. Like, his cult fan base, driven by Arteta, because, anyone that likes Arteta and they believe he gets his signings in, they won't speak ill against. So the people that like Havertz are the people that like Arteta. They don't think for themselves. And it's very frustrating because open your eyes. And have you noticed how they've made an enemy out of Gyökeres because of their love for Havertz and their love for Arteta? So it's disingenuous. You can say what you want to say about Gyökeres. He's not a world beater. But for me, the reason why we signed him was because, yeah, you slapped 50. It might have been in a weaker league, but you slapped 50. So you're showing that you're a specialist. And it made sense to sign a guy that knows how to stick the ball in the back of the net. Yes, his first touch is nasty. Yes, he can go through games missing. But what they will do is they'll punish Gyökeres for all of his deficiencies, but they will baby Havertz for his deficiencies, and they will mitigate why he's crap. But he wins his duels. When has a striker ever been judged for winning duels? This is an Arteta thing. Win your duels. Cool, be physical. Why can't you score when we need you to score the most? And then you'll not talk about duels. Why was he out-dueled by Bernardo Silva? Why did Bernardo Silva get to that ball before him? And
you're talking about, that was a bit mad still.
So that's what I'm saying. So when it's time for you to actually stand up and be counted, Havertz, you're always not the one doing the counting. You're always the one that will let us down. You let us down all the time. But you get paid like you're a bad boy. You have never been a bad boy. This was a vanity signing alongside Madueke from a very arrogant manager that was feeling himself. He felt that I can get a tune out of Havertz. Mm-hmm. I can get a tune out of Madueke. Cool. It's okay to be deluded. Delusion gets you into places and into rooms in life that you have no business being in. If you don't believe in yourself, you can't get to where you want to go in life. So I respect the delusion from that standpoint of, yeah, I believe I'm the shit. I believe I can do these things. But time and again, you sign these deficient players for big money and they kill you. So I'm glad that this signing will kill you. So I want you to be killed, metaphorically. I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to be violent. I want you gone, Arteta. I want you gone. I don't trust you. I don't trust you to win anything for us. And I said this to Nobs. We had a chat on the phone on Saturday, yeah? We're just catching up. And I said to him, I'm tired of being proven right. It's not even an arrogant thing, man. Time and again, they think I hate Arteta. And again, I'm going to tell you, they're right. I do. Because of how he is. Because of how I know that come season's end, there's going to be something, a 2-week stretch where we get dumped out of every competition and then we're fighting for our lives in the league. And it's happened year in, year out. And people think that this is the second coming of Pep, or this is the new managerial heavyweight. No, bro. No, it's not. And again, I want Arsenal to wake up. I want Arsenal to be ruthless enough to be like, listen, you have taken us as far as you can. You have made us not a laughing stock for our playing ability. You made us a laughing stock in the sense that people can laugh at us because we still can't get it over the line. So that's what they're laughing at us now. It's like, oh, Arsenal are good, but they're nearly men. Right, you have taken us from 8th, you're doing, by the way, to 2nd and challenging. So I'll give you that. You've made us a much more serious outfit where teams have to respect us on the pitch. Because I know the old adage, we was getting smacked up under Wenger, all the big games, holding 6, holding 8, holding 5, Liverpool, United, Chelsea. Yes, we're no longer getting moved to by the big boys now. But when it counts, we still lose those games. Have you noticed how, Arteta might have made us a serious outfit, but in his soon to be 7 years at Arsenal, he still hasn't gone to Liverpool and won, and he still hasn't gone to City and won. And those are the 2 teams that have won the Premier League. Now, again, it's not a given right to go to your enemy's ground and win. But are you telling me in 7 years you can't go to Anfield and get a result? Are you telling me in 7 years you can't go to City and get a result and punch them in the nose? And this is why I say I don't believe that even if we do win this Premier League, that we were the outright best. I feel like the situation and the landscape was very fortuitous in the sense that Liverpool fell off a cliff and City won at the races, because we still can't go to those grounds and announce ourselves as like, you know what, bro, we're here, we are the outright best, and we're going to show that we're the outright best. We can't do it. We have this shook conservative nature. I would rather we don't want to if you can't win, don't lose. And for me, that's not the hallmark of champions. That's not the hallmark of a team that believes that on any given day, when we step over the line to play football, we are the outright best. I don't believe that. And that's why, amongst the plethora of things, I want Arteta to go. Now, again, I could be saying this, and in a month's time, I could look very silly because we could be on the cusp of a sensational double, a double that's never been done in our history, the Premier League and the Champions League. But a lot has to happen between them. I can't see us getting past our semi-final, and even if we do in the Champions League, I don't think we have it in us to win that game in the final. I know we can't look past Atletico Madrid, but I'm saying if we do get past Atletico Madrid, I don't trust us to win that final, and I don't trust that. I believe we can win all our games. I don't believe that City will drop points, and if they do again, I might look stupid. But I'd rather look stupid than to always be proven right come May. And that's my issue with this club and Arteta, is that they'll always prove you right in the end. People say, oh, Ed, you're hating or you're too harsh. Cool. But why am I always right? Why is it that since Arteta has been managing this club and he's been the outright boss, he's had time, money, influence, power, why hasn't he won? He won in the beginning, but then people say that wasn't his team. I don't subscribe to that. If I do, it's because I'm being nasty. You won the FA Cup, fine. But since you have got the reins of this club and everything is gone in your image and gone in your say-so, every year by March, April, wahala. Why are you losing to Bournemouth, bro? Why are you losing to, do you know what I mean? Beginning of March, we were on 4 competitions. It's almost the end of April. We've got 10 days left of April. We're fighting for our lives in the league. It's not terminal, but it could be if we don't buck up our ideas, and we're in the semi-final of the Champions League, right? If we do the unthinkable, and it's more likely that we do, that'll be another year of wasted potential. Another year where his fans will still try to argue for this. And I'm looking at them like, are you sick? Are you okay? Like, what is it you see?
You still think the cult of Arteta will still be about it in that aspect?
Yeah, I do. I think the title will change.
Yeah.
Okay, so if the cult of Arteta is, I'd say 60-40 at best, maybe 70-30 in a matting, I reckon it'll be 40-60. Against. So now it'll be 60 people want him out, 60% want him out. There will still be a loud 40% saying the same things that they've been saying, which is, oh, look where you were before. Look at what he's done. Yada, yada, yada. And I always say this, yes, Arteta, you've done well, but you have the most favorable conditions in world football, bro. You get paid 15 million a year. The 5 out of that 15 million is to qualify for the Champions League, not to win it, not to win the competition, to qualify. So that means in a good year where the English teams are smacking up everybody, you have to finish as low as 5th because 5 places go to England. So you telling me you get an extra £5 million to qualify. So that means you don't have to win a trophy. You just have to finish as low as 5th in a season where all the English teams are mashing in the CL. And you're getting an extra £5 million.
And he's getting paid. I think he's getting paid like he's already won things in that aspect. So I do understand that aspect. I do be honest. I think with him now is to a point where we've seen this movie before, and we do. And I think we've discussed this. I think in turn of the year is that, and I always, and I mean, you know what? I always try to play the diplomat, and I think you made some really fair points there. Is that, but I think Arteta's potentially taken Arsenal as far as he can within. There's a certain level, isn't it? Potentially, and maybe this is him. Is his voice as loud as it used to be? If that makes sense as well, you know, because he's been there for a long time, and you know his style and everything could just, you know, how we talked about how Klopp ruled down his players. It could be the same here with Arteta, and he's just not won anything off it. And it's come to that point where it's an end of a cycle, and you're hoping he'd win something, but it looks like he won't. But I do see where Ed's frustrations do come from.
Yeah, listen, look, there's going to be frustrations, and you have to have frustrations. And I think every Arsenal supporter is not going to sing from the same hymn sheet. That's the beauty of supporting a club. And like Arsenal, I just kind of feel, with me personally, I think the post-mortem should be done at the end of the season. I was speaking to another Arsenal supporter. And I think with the other supporters, I think Arsenal has been their joy, their drink at the end of a tough day in the mines. And I don't like Arsenal fans playing up to this sort of pantomime. Like, there's no point, because it's very disingenuous. They want to hear this sort of stuff because it's making them feel better. Because bar Manchester City, no one's had a better season than Arsenal in the league. And I know people say, oh, if you don't win anything, they haven't. Anybody now would switch places to see what's going on. I'm seeing what's going on with Chelsea. Liverpool has been shocking, but they have won. So for me, I agree. I think we should have, discussions if we're not happy with certain things. But until it's done, once it's done, I think the post-mortem is coming. Arteta knows the post-mortem is coming.
I think we're in A&E at the moment. I'm not going to lie. I think.
Well,
I think the positive is that I hope I'm wrong. Like, I hope I'm completely wrong, and and I'm getting cussed out for it. But I think you've got to look at what we've seen over the past month or so. Performance was a little bit better, yes. I think the other concern I had is what happened to the haram ball. Went 1-1, even that second we took open. I think ours was open. There was a
but Ed,
look at it in terms of Arsenal didn't go into the winner. When Arsenal go to dominate games like Bournemouth, we don't see it. Right? And I think that's where I was thinking the point. I think this game wasn't the reason Arsenal are going to have blown the title.
I think that's the best point there, because it's not the reason. I think you can look at.
You've got to look at those.
But it was interesting because Ed did say at the beginning of his of what he was saying, when he clearly stated that, look, Havertz played well and he held the ball up and this, that, but we didn't win. And this is the thing, the balance of it, because we were calling out for great football. I'm not saying Ed was, but last week we were talking about, the style. It's about winning at the end of the day. And I'm encouraged by what I saw, because we just looked a lot more dangerous. I just think when you think about it, that game, I didn't come away from that game thinking, yeah, City scored us. I really didn't. I came away from that with key moments. And it seems you made a great point, Naeem, that it's not down to that City loss. It's internal things that have put Arsenal in this position here. Because if Eze scores, if Havertz scores, one of the two, then we're all going to be talking about what a great away performance where, controlling the league. So it is come down to us. But like I've said in the beginning, I think we just need, what I'm going to do, I'm going to have to wait until it's done. And I think he will get the post-mortem at the end of the season. I think we know. I mean, look, it's coming. There's no point in pretending that it's not. Unless he picks up one of those cups, I think he knows it's coming. Look, you can see the tide is turning. Even Ian Wright, he's Mr. Positive. It had to take Roy Keane to... When Roy Keane's trying to tell you, look, relax, bro. It's not easy to win. That's how you know. And he's been Mr. Positive for three or 4 years. So people are worrying at this time, and it's fine. And I get it. It's normal. I'm just saying I'm not going to crash out so early because this is basically what these people want to happen.
You know why you lot are funny? You are Artetas, yeah? You ones that rate him. Now you want to be calm. My boy Jimmy, another one. He was crashing out last week against Bournemouth, but where Havertz scored, and you're not a Havertz fan, so I'm not putting you in this conversation. Yeah. But Havertz scored, and he didn't even watch the game, but Havertz scored. He was happy because Havertz scored. He wanted Havertz to play, and he scored. When Gyökeres got the equaliser, he was angry. And
against who? What are you talking about?
The Bournemouth one.
Last week.
The Bournemouth, the ball. Okay, sorry.
Oh, he doesn't like Gyökeres. He doesn't like Gyökeres, I'm assuming.
No. He doesn't like Gyökeres, and it's an agenda. He has his reasons, whatever. Yeah, I'm not gonna go diagnose the guy, but I do see, like, because Havertz scored, the pain or the upset isn't like festering in them, and I'm just thinking that's kind of weird because last week you lot was ready to end it, jump off a bridge or whatever, but because now your guy's scoring, suddenly you're calmer, like you're practicing you're calling for calm, and I just think it's weird. I think like losses should hurt. I don't think there's any positives from this loss. I don't, because for me it just shows again we can't win when it counts. This might be our 6th loss all season, but how many losses have been costly? And that's the thing. That's the hallmark of an Arteta side. It's like you lose when you shouldn't lose. You lose at the most inopportune time. You lose in the final. You lose in the semi-final. You lose against your rivals in the running. But then fans will turn around and say, "Oh, guys, calm down. We've only lost 6 all season." Yeah, but look at the 6 you're losing. Just look at the 6 you're losing. You're losing the finals. That's why I said, yeah, granted, the Carabao Cup in the list of priorities is maybe 4th or 5th. But there's a mentality behind it. And Rob's going to test this. I said, you know why the Carabao Cup is so important for Arsenal, especially with this squad? Because it will show to the players, yeah, they can win. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they can win. And it will foster a mentality. I always say this. When there was a drought with Ferguson, what was the first cup he won? The League Cup. What was the first cup that Pep won in this country? It was the League Cup. I think what was the first cup that what do you call it?
Mourinho
won. It was the League Cup. It was the League Cup. They took it seriously. Yes, you could say, oh, well, Wenger didn't. Who cares? We always pick and choose when we want to bring Wenger into this. Allow it. He's gone. This is a new regime.
Bring him out, by the way, at the beginning. You did actually bring him out.
No, of course. And I'm part of that too. But at the end of the day, you can't bring Wenger in when it suits you for, oh, yeah, he didn't take the trophy seriously. Cool, he's gone. He paid for his sins. He got dashed out in 2018. Long gone.
So was he wrong for not taking the thing
We
seriously?
don't care. What is Arteta doing with this cup? So I
think we've got to be fair here. We did say
the same that Wenger did with it, really.
No, I think Wenger in certain aspects, and I'm not going to defend Wenger. The difference being is Wenger came in and he had a bit of body of work where he'd won a couple of titles by doing what he did in the League Cup, and it was like You're not won the League Cup. Yeah, it's fine. We see all the youngsters come through, but Arsenal are winning titles, winning FA Cups, winning stuff. So I got within reason. You got it with the Carling Cup.
What are you talking about? The first 10 years or the second 10 years?
Second 10 years, maybe should have won it. But we always talk about Wenger, Arteta. It always jumps in this argument. The argument here is Arsenal have won something for 6. We did say, and I said it, I think I'm with Ed. I said it. If Arsenal lose that final, you're going to see a domino effect. And what we've seen, they lost the final, got bassed up by Southampton, played off the park by Bournemouth. Look at the team players we're talking. Bournemouth, all due respect, they sold their best player in January. There's no reason that should have happened. And that
are you saying that's because of the Carabao Cup? Because what we've said is that
was a mentality thing. I think it was. You win that. If Arsenal had won the Carabao Cup, you tell him, I reckon you wouldn't have seen this.
I know, but I hear that. But I do hear that. But they have been accused of being butlers before this Carabao Cup, isn't it? Every single year. So
and we're proving the pudding.
This year is the Carabao Cup.
This is going to be different.
And if you win your first trophy, you get the monkey off your back, and it will signal, "Rah, we finally done it. Okay, guys, G us up."
Be up City as well. Then let's see now. Say something now. So let's see what we do now.
Okay, look at the reverse. Look at the reverse. That shot in the arm that we gave City by them winning that trophy. Now they're within a couple points of us. If they beat Burnley on Wednesday, I think they match us on points, or they go 1 point behind.
They match on points because they'll go to goal difference. They'll go to goal difference then.
Exactly. So can you see how people say, well, there's no proof that if we'd won the Carling Cup or Carabao Cup that we would have gone on this run. You're seeing proof with another team. If we had given them that knockout blow, I think that would have psychologically matched them like, raw. We actually lost to this side that we used to thump up, and raw, like we've got nothing left.
It's one goal difference. It's only one goal, the difference, goal difference. Just one. Yeah. That's it. So they beat Burnley 2-0, which easily can do at home. They're home as well, I believe.
Burnley haven't beaten them in years, and then if you look at like the goals for and against, I think it's like saw something crazy. It's like 24 goals to like two conceded.
They win 2-0, they go top by goal difference. They win 2-0, they go top by goal difference.
And it's not.
I think it could be a cricket score there with that one. I think you got to write that one off now. I can't see anything happening with that. Honestly, I can't see anything. They'll go ahead. Well, I think we played twice. Is it? I think.
So Newcastle because of the FA Cup, isn't it?
Again,
it could swing it to 6 points again. But look, I think, and then it's back on with City. So I think there's going to be one or two twists and turns. I think
you're praying for twists and turns.
Yeah, I think you're underestimating both ways. It's going to be Atletico Madrid games will have.
I think there's going to be twists and turns that like on both sides.
No, of course,
but then so are they. Okay, but I mean, when you're neck and neck,
I hope you're right. I hope with both me and Ed are proper wrong.
No, I don't care if you guys think I'm right or not. I'm a finance guy. I'm talking about points, isn't it? Like, this is just your neck and neck. It depends on the goal difference. I just think there's going to be some twists and turns.
I've worked in forecasting and my views. I forecast things like that, but
no, exactly. We're just and that's fine. You know what I mean? You're obviously looking at trends and but what I'm saying is that I mean both teams, as I said, it's really squeezy bum time now, and it's blink first. Man City have definitely got the advantage of it, but then obviously Arsenal have another chance to go 6 points again, and then the little bit pressures on them. You have to go away to Everton. They're looking at the Newcastle game with us. Honestly, now it's kind of like whoever blinks first is they're going to be in real control, and City kind of are. So they got Villa last game of the season. We've got Palace. Tough both. I just think we just need to just concentrate on.
Can I ask you both a question right now? Right now, honestly, if I said to you now, you win the Champions League, but lose the league, take it now.
What, guaranteed the Champions League? Yeah, I mean, listen, for me,
regardless of all the noise, because
I want to win. I want to win either one of them. But the Champions League for me, I'm not gonna hide it. That is the holy grail for Arsenal.
Especially considering but it's only 12 points, 11 points, it would have been 8 points, wherever it was.
It is the holy grail for Arsenal Football Club. And at the end of the day, if people are going to say we've got no chance in winning that, then they really haven't watched Champions League over the years. They haven't, because I've seen that 2022 or 21 Chelsea team that went and finished fourth. I'm thinking, oh my Lord, Kai Havertz up front, Mason Mount, bro. It's
did they have N'Golo Conte though? Let's not forget.
No, it was Tuchel. It was Tuchel that won it for them.
Tuchel time.
Yeah.
No. He said he had Conte. No, Kante. He meant, isn't it?
Kante.
Yeah. Oh, Kante. Oh,
yeah. No, I know. Yeah. I know. Yeah, he said N'Golo. Yeah. Oh. But I know because you said Conte. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, anything can happen. But that's me personally. But listen, I want to win either or. The Champions League for me, that's a cup that is.
Yeah, it's a cup that's eluded us, and it will cement us. However, what I'll say is, if Arteta doesn't win either, I don't think he's in any danger of getting sacked. I really don't. People can say. Listen,
I think he's in danger.
I don't think he's in danger. I don't. Remember, I said this last.
You think they'll back him again? You think they'll back him again?
Listen, KSC, yeah. They don't care about winning the way we do as fans. They don't.
I know. Yeah, what you're saying.
They don't. They're not ruthless enough, man. Right? They're not. They're not. They have many other franchises. They're a sports conglomerate. They have franchises in the NHL, MLS, NBA. They've now got us in the Premier League. They've got franchises, and none of their franchises are serial winners. They don't prioritize winning.
I think they win it once and they leave it at that. I believe. I think if you read it, if you look at the history of some of it, I think it's in America.
Ed, I definitely hear that. I think the reason why I would think he's in trouble is, and I think Josh was there on Sunday, but they're going to have to look at that forward line, and that's a whole new rebuild, because you have got Jesus, Trossard. So Jesus is not good enough. He can't stay fit. He's not good enough to perform first team. They need to get rid of him and replace him. You've got Trossard, they're going to have to replace him because he's falling off a cliff. Before Trossard will help you out because he'll get odd goals here and there. These big games, these tight games, he'll get the goal. 1-0 against Everton, Aston Villa away. The goals are drying up now. And he doesn't even look close to scoring either.
Binge ride, man.
No, but what I'm saying is it's.
But normally he'll have another patch now, isn't it? That's empty.
There's no patch. And he's not even hitting the post. I can't remember the last shot he's had, and I thought, oh, that's a good save. So that's another player. You've got Martinelli, where you need to really sit down and think, hey, what are we going to do with this guy? Because this is someone potentially, he's done well in the Champions League, but this is someone potentially that you could get a little bit of money for. You have got Kai Havertz, and then you've got the issue, a big issue now, that you've got Madueke there now, where you have to think, right, I know it's his first season, but those attackers, they need a whole new revamp. You're talking about to have a team that is ready to go again, Ed. And I can understand your argument. I'm not saying that you're wrong, but to go again and say, right, we'll give Arteta another go, you need to add another 3 attackers of serious quality where you can think, okay, you know what? You're going to have to give this guy another go. I think it's going to be a big job if he doesn't get over the line. I think it's going to be damaging to his legacy and for the project, because you can't, if there's no way, he has to look at that now, Zubimendi and Rice partnership there. He has to look at that. You can't say, right, I'm just going to do the same thing and go in with these 2 next season. That's just it. That's the only thing I'm going to do. See, you might just have to tear it up and Rice goes back to a 6. He's got to have to look up at his left back. We got to look at the Saka situation. Because if Saka is rushing back to go to the World Cup, I'll be fuming. You're fit for the World Cup. That's really nice. Great. But
it's not just on Saka. As to your point, there's a lot of work he needs to do. And I don't think, will they trust him with the money?
That's exactly what I'm saying, Naeem. I think you've got to get to that situation as the owners. I'm going to think,
But you've
That's
got
a
to look
lot
at
of a rebuild here. That's a lot.
well, and also his signings haven't been good enough.
Yeah, it hasn't been.
So you've got to look at the
And they've weighed. This is, I think, Ed's point about season after season. Those particular foods that you've had have gone off now. They were for 2 Christmases ago. That turkey, it's gone rotten now. You've kept it in the fridge for too long. Trossard, Jesus. These were the sort of signings. I mean, that's a huge one again. Havertz, Martinelli. I kind of feel that there's a lot of the Arsenal forward line. Bar Gyökeres, the only guy I think has done his job this season. He's had his critics. People don't like his touch. He scored 18 goals. So bring me someone else that's close to that. And he's just coming to the club. But it looks like a lot of the other forwards, they're living off past glories. Odegaard's living off 2.5 seasons ago. Martinelli's living off the 15 goals 2.5 seasons ago. Obviously, Saka's done his job right now. But this season has not been anywhere close. Okay, he's got off season. But it's not the fact that he's just out of form. You're also concerned about the Achilles or his hamstring. Or now I'm thinking, is he going to come back even close to the player?
That's where you've got to look at Arteta. He runs them into the ground. I'm sorry. Overuse. The guy said last week, he said, Declan Rice was shattered. You still played him 94 minutes.
I had to play him 94 minutes. That's what he said.
I had to play him. Again, that to me, that's damning. You had to play him. You've got Norgard there.
You wanted Norgard as well. You wanted Norgard there for this to take over from Jorginho.
Why are you signing these guys and then discarding them and then you bring them back in from the cold? What is it about your style or your man management where you can't alchemize the squad enough? You can't get people ticking over. Have you noticed how this is why Pep is one of the greatest? The running, most of his key players are either healthy or firing at the right time because he gets them into the mode, into the gear at the right time. We always go off the boil at the most inopportune time. We will be cold in August, September, October, when it doesn't count as much. Obviously, you can kill yourself in those early months and you can be out of the league in them early months, but it's always the running. It's always from February, March onward that you need to be, in that mode. And
I think they signed. I think. No, I hear that. I'm not going to compare Pep and Man City's squad with Arsenal's because I think they've got the head start. They spend more. So it's a bit difficult, but I will agree. Is look in January they've gone and they've signed Semenyo and they've signed Mark Gahey, as well as spending money again.
Yeah.
And look, those signings, it looks like could take them over the thing. That's the difference. Like they can come in and say, right, I'm going to pay Mark Gahey 300k, and I'm going to go and grab Semenyo, which again we will look at why he wasn't signed ahead of.
Can I just say one thing to that point that I completely appreciate? But they've dropped points even with them in the team. Arsenal just dropped more from the position they've got, regardless of Semenyo. And I agree with you about Semenyo. I think he was a miss, massive in terms of signing.
He was rubbish yesterday, though. It was a signing.
However, but I think their best player was Shirky in that aspect in terms of their signing.
He signed in the summer.
But I think one thing, regardless of that, and I made it, Bournemouth, Wolves, those sort of games.
Yeah, there's no excuses.
That's where the title's been lost and that sort of thing, and not being ruthless enough and going there with pomp and should be bashing up those teams. So that's where I think the deficiencies are coming. I think that's all mental. It's not ability, it's mental.
I don't think the deficiencies have been coming. I think.
Oh, I think so. Arsenal haven't played that. We've discussed
no.
All the odd game here and there. Arsenal have not played well.
I agree. No, I agree. But what I'm saying is this is why me and Ed are in two different camps, but this is why what I can't defend and that what does land on Arteta's desk is that forward line is not good enough. It's not being like it's dropped off. You can't trust it. Like, what were you surprised that when we went 1-0 against Wolves that Martinelli didn't kill off the game? We're not surprised. This is something that you should be addressing. You got.
I agree with you, and this is why Arteta's head should be on the chopping block.
That's what I'm saying. You got 52M and you chose out of all the wingers and forwards, you chose Madueke over Semenyo. Semenyo wasn't good yesterday, Ed, because Nkapia played well. But I think he's got how many goals for City?
Yeah, of course. But
Yeah.
but
So again, it's as I said, coming back to your main point. Oh, I don't know if he's under any pressure. I think they're gonna have to, because he's gonna go back and say, "Look, I need a new forward line again," and they're gonna ask the question, "Really?"
Well, look at the forwards you've bought. Yeah, I think the post-mortem is going to be interesting. And he said the
That's
game
what
by
I
game.
said. The post-mortem is coming. You have to win. If he wins,
We're in
Why-
A&E. I still think we're in
if he
A&E. I
doesn't,
think we're in A&E.
But you know what's funny? Why are you both so adamant that this club is changed? Why are you so adamant? Like,
I don't think it has.
believe what they've shown you since 19 how long? They're not ruthless enough. So why do you think that they're suddenly going to be ruthless? Why? What?
I don't think they're going to be. I don't think it's actually being ruthless.
I think they need to be. I don't think they will be. I'm with you. I don't think they will be, though.
Yeah, I don't think it's about being ruthless. I just think they're looking at their return now. And I think in terms of they're making their money, Champions League and stuff, by all means. But I just think Josh, over his dad, I could be wrong. You're right. They have shown us his way. But since he's been there, I think if the noise gets too loud, I do think that they would look at that. I generally, and I could be wrong. And
I don't want to say you are wrong, but the noise was loud with Wenger for how long? And when did they clip him? There was noise from about 2012 that the guy.
No, but that wasn't Josh, though, was it? That was just the dad. And it seems like since he's come in,
it's KSE. It's KSE.
I hear that, but I think
they didn't have full control. That's the thing. They didn't have full control back then. I see what I think. Within reason, I think they're blindsided the amount of money Arsenal make. Right? They look about extending the Emirates out to 80,000, get more money in. I think they've seen Arsenal being a cash cow back in the Champions League. I'm stuck between the rock and hard place. I agree with both of you in certain aspects, but I think regardless of what happens in the season, his job should be looked at. Period. In terms of the amount of money being that we, but I think to Ed's point, he's a safe pair of hands. He gets the money.
He's their guy.
He doesn't shake the tree up. He's not going to do a Conte rant here and there.
Okay, when we didn't get top four in 21-22, they loosened the purse strings, and then we got top four. So we finished second the season after. We finished second again and again. Their concern, their trophy is CL money. That's the revenue they like the most. They don't. I believe, I could be wrong. I don't speak to Joe. I don't know them, man. I don't know what goes on in their mind. I believe, from the outside looking in, that the Champions League qualification is their trophy. I believe, or I feel rather, that winning trophies is a bonus. Oh, that's nice, as opposed to the requirement. That's the entree. That's the dessert. That's the cherry on top. Is a trophy. The main course, the main meal, the foundation, whatever synonym or adjective or whatever they believe is qualifying for the Champions League. That's our money, And when we were on the cusp of top four, the cash injection was there. The cash injection was there for him to get top four.
And even last year as well to win the title. Let's not forget, we can say that as well. He's there been back to build the title as well.
Sorry, the cash injection when? Sorry?
As he's like Jesus Zinchenko signings, those ones.
Jesus Zinchenko signing, and the season after that, like for me,
right?
I believe they want Champions League money. I believe trophies are an aside to them. I don't believe it's the main thing. I don't believe they're hungry for trophies the way the fans are. I don't, because for me, how can you give a manager an extra 5 million for qualification? I would understand if it was like if you win the joint.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Definitely true.
And that's natural report. That's not me. That's not me. Being
I'm not dying.
There's a report saying that he's on 50 million a year, and 5 of that is to qualify for the Champions League. How can you do that? How can you incentivize qualification over winning? That's madness. That's madness. So for me, I don't believe that they are ruthless enough to set the guy that is still getting you what you want.
also, I'll tell you what. Well, on top of that, who do you replace him with? We talk about this and that, but who did they even replace him with? That's the thing.
You see where that question?
You've got somebody who that plays the party line. Not all managers will do. If that makes sense. That's what I think. In certain ways, he is safe within reason.
I want Luis Enrique. Yeah,
he won't take.
We all know, right? However, for me, that is why, yeah, we will never get over the hurdle. We can't be too scared of who can we get. Bun that. Other teams sack managers.
But Arsenal aren't other teams. This is Arsenal. Let's be fair.
But do you want to be a regular winner? Or do you want to be the person that wins every now and again?
Of course. I've grown up in the era.
You have to remove that cautious side. I'm not saying sack managers like Chelsea.
I agree with you. No,
if you believe that a manager is taking you as far as you can go, you shouldn't hold on to him.
I don't disagree with you. I'm in agreement with you. I'm just thinking in terms of and also I know what the behavior of this KSA team is. I'm in complete agreement with you. They won't get rid of. They should do, but they'll use multiple arguments in terms of he makes money, security in the club, yada yada yada. There's no one. You'll hear it. You'll hear that noise about who's going to replace him, right? Because there isn't anybody. I might disagree. I think Luis Enrique, yeah. But I can see them multiple. I'm with you. There'll be multiple reasons why he stays in the job. Would he? But he shouldn't be. I'm in complete agreement.
Okay, so you've just answered why I don't believe they're ruthless. Because remember, you're saying that his job's in the line.
They should be ruthless. They should be, but they won't be. That's the thing. We can see
it. They won't, because again, they're to them, there's more positives with Arteta at the helm. Pause than there is any other manager. For me. What is stopping us going out and getting Enrique? We're the Premier League. With
the money as well. We pay London. Yeah, no, there's nothing. KSC.
We're exactly. But we're in London. We're now one of the, according to Arteta's folklore, he's now turned us into a respected institution again. We're no longer a laughing stock amongst Europe. So if that's Arteta's legacy, why wouldn't Enrique come here? Because if we're now a serious team again, and when we're now an attractive proposition, yeah, we should go out and get Luis Enrique. We should treat Arteta like Brendan Rodgers at Liverpool. Honestly, that's why the artwork for last week's episode was that. I view him as a Brendan Rodgers. I just do. I view him as the guy that stabilized the foundation.
The daily man, isn't it? He's a daily man.
And listen, as much as Arteta has, changed us into a serious outfit, he's got his whole career to thank for Arsenal. He was a rookie, bro, getting one of the biggest jobs in world football. And then what is he being given? Time. He's been given money. He's been given resources. He's been given influence. They said that he's the second most powerful man at the club behind Josh Kroenke. And this is his first job. Can I ask you guys, in real life, and I know football doesn't operate on real life parameters, yeah? Can you walk into a Fortune 500 job as CEO with no experience, unless your dad owns the company?
I was about to say, unless your pops is the owner.
Unless your pops is Rupert Murdoch, does that happen to Joe Bloggs on the street? What was your first job? My first job was at John Lewis. I didn't own the company. I didn't run the company.
I was at John Lewis as well.
I didn't get some HR directory job.
I'm going to say how I got my job because it might contradict this argument. However,
he was highly regarded enough. And the funny thing is, he was in a run-in with Emery. We chose it. We went
initially was
exactly. So you get, and I'm not saying he hasn't earned the right, but bruv, you have been very lucky. You got your first job at the gate is managing Arsenal. You didn't work your way up to it. You didn't start off in League 1 or 2 or take a lower league Premier League side. You walked in to a perennial top 4 side, the third most successful club in England, and you got the job. And then you got given what other managers would kill for, which is time. You've been given 6 years at a top club to revamp. Yes, you had a difficult job. Yes, you had to get out all the rubbish. Yes, you had to, stabilize the club and build. But you're given time to do that, bro. Other clubs, the best clubs that we want to get to, the levels of like the PSGs and the Madrids and the Barças and the Bayerns, they don't give managers 7 years, bro, to not win nothing. They don't do that.
I'm with you. As I said, I'm in complete agreement with you. I just can't see. I'm with you. I hope for train, but let's see what happens end of the season. Let's see what happens. What trophies end up. We might be completely wrong.
I think he's going to stay regardless. I want him to win a trophy.
So let him win some trophies then. At least we've got something to celebrate.
Yeah. If he wins trophies, you won't hear a peep from me. All I want to do is go to the parade and boogie. That's all I want to do. I'm tired of being here in May and it's a nearly 4 and a near 4 and then we go again. I don't want to hear we go again. I only want to hear we go again when he's doing this. We go again and we try to repeat. I don't want to hear about, I'm sorry, guys, we came so close. We tried. No, ban that, bro. Try nothing. Try my foot. Win, brother. Win. That's
okay. Nah, okay, man. But listen, I mean, I think a lot of people got many things off their chest, man, in today's podcast, man. So, yeah. But listen, Ed, Naeem, pleasure as usual. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the Offside chat and get involved in the conversation. Peace out.
Peace.